What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Two Motherfuckers podcast.
Welcome back.
You got your co-hosts Damiano
What's up,
and Jack. So last week we had a little bit of technical difficulties, so we had to step back from the podcast for a little bit so we could collect ourselves. We are good now. We're back. He was trying to get out of it again, but I was like, nah, we ain't doing that. Yes, he was.
What the fuck?
Yes, he was.
What? Bro. Alright, whatever. What you munching on, bro?
Donut.
Is that on the diet?
Yeah.
I wish it was on mine though.
Mandatory bulk until I'm 200. Anyways, so we're recording this and it's Sunday, October 1st of 2023. So obviously we're in the last of 4 quarters of the year.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to definitely talk about what our goals are for this year. What we recommend if you're trying to start a fitness journey, do not wait until the beginning of the year. You have 3 months to begin. So get after it. We're going to talk about some of that stuff. And then from there, I think we're going to get into, what was
Where's
the
some
topic?
Q&As?
Yeah, I think we had a couple Q&As from last week that we forgot to get into. But besides that, without further ado, let's get into our first topic. So like I was saying, obviously there's 4 quarters. So I'm going to explain this because Damiano had no clue what I was talking about.
Bro.
He's still stuck in Italy, bro, I swear. Anyways.
That's a dumb word to say, bro. I'm never gonna use it in my life.
So a quarter, how I like to explain it is there's 12 months in a year. You break the 12 months down into 4 quarters.
Right.
Each quarter is 3 months. So we're obviously in the 4th quarter of the year. Now, this is like, a lot of people probably are like, oh, that's dumb, just like him. And I'm just like, no. If you look at it from a business perspective, businessmen and women will break down the year by a quarter. And it's specifically for that reason, so then you can dumb down the year into little segments.
Right.
So you can have little goals, and then obviously big goals, and then in between goals that could be 2 quarters, take 2 quarters to achieve, or 3 quarters to achieve. And then next year, you'll have a quarter in this year, but 2 quarters in the next year till that third quarter. You finish those 3 quarters combined.
Makes sense.
Anyways, so I think for the both of us, we have separate goals. I'm going to talk about my top 3. I think my biggest one is definitely trying to get my photography, videography business off the ground and get it going into the new year. I already have been looking into hopefully a couple of jobs, creating an LLC, stuff like that. So I'm not going to talk too much about it because I want to get it done first before I get into it. But that's like the biggest one right now. I think my second one that I definitely want to put my feet down on the ground about is bodybuilding. I kind of screwed around this whole year, and I'll admit it. My coach will admit it. I don't have a coach really right now. I kind of went blank on everybody over the last month and a half, 2 months. So
That's why
really,
sometimes you need that.
yeah, really for me, it was for my mental health to like settle in, like relax. I've let go of a lot of people out of my life, which was a big thing for me because I thought like, oh, I need all these friends, blah 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 blah. And then I realized like really I just need to select a few, like 4 or 5 people in my life that are constant, and everybody else is there and I appreciate them, but like, at the end of the day I need people that are going to push me to be the best person that I am, to achieve my goals, because if you know me for a while, like Maxim or Carson's know me, I have all these ideas, but like a lot of them really never make it past the talking or writing them down on a piece of paper stage. And this is the first time in a long time that I really put my foot down on a couple of things, ideas that I've had, and I haven't turned away from them. So more active, obviously, with my photography account. So actually, that is up. It's called Composure. What are they?
Films?
I think it's Composure Films.
No, you don't even know that name?
No, I don't even know the name.
I know it's film.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah, so Composure Films. That's a little embarrassing on me, but I just created. Originally, I had it as like a very simple, like After Me Productions, but I wanted to step away from that. Obviously, the meaning behind composure is peaceful. It gives you a peaceful element. Now, that's because some of the videos that I strive to make are like peaceful, films that really just like can bring in like you have some type of attraction to the video, understanding and is in depth. And that's been big for me since I started filming is to tell a story from behind the camera
Alright, and
and
that's how
put
it
it
should
on
be.
the screen so that somebody can understand. And now, like more recently, like I've done like I wouldn't say sad videos. A lot of people I've talked to that have watched them are like, oh, they're sad. Like they really hit my heart. Like it dug into me. Like I felt that, and that's understandable. But not all of them are meant to be that way. But I also have to step back and realize not everybody's gonna understand
Right.
the in depth to the video that I put out there. So it's excuse me, it's a hit or miss. Now as I continue to grow, I have a lot of good like people that I've been looking to help guide me when it comes to videography and photography. But videography is definitely my big one. Photography's kind of been pretty one or the other. More gym photos and then more actually outside would be family photos for like Christmas pictures. That's been the only two that I've really done. Now, granted, it's not all I'm going to stick to. Obviously, I want to broaden the spectrum. But I think that right now, obviously, find like these little niches that I enjoy, and then push myself to be the best that I can within that. So,
That's
yeah, definitely that. And then besides that, just keep doing what I do best, which is excel, grow as a person, never stop growing, and continue to strengthen my relationship with God. It's been a big one for me. So. Those are some of my, I guess, goals. Everything else is kind of more of a private goal, and it's not that I don't want to share them. It's just that I found that when I keep myself more consolidated, more isolated, keep my goals quiet, I tend to achieve them better instead of talking about them as often.
Yeah.
So, been a big thing. Nothing against you guys, but I think that's an important thing that everybody should learn.
Keep
Don't-
something for
yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
Until something's 110%, don't talk about it.
Right.
So,
Definitely.
what about for you? What are your top three goals you got right now?
I do have some goals right now. Before I get into that, I want to like kind of like connect on your second point, which was, kind of like you disconnected from everybody and just like you're on your own. And I shared something about that the other day about coaches, clients, people,
Right.
and there's so many people that I see on the gram, and they just fucking switch their coaches that like changing the underwear, bro. Like every day there's a new coach or there's something new, and from my perspective is that it's not your coach fault most of the time, it's you.
Right.
Like if you're not in the right mental state to meal prep, work out, and have and do all the other things that are around that, doesn't matter if you change your coach, because you're still gonna do the same shit. Now sometimes it's the coach fault. Like 100%, like you're not on the same level, or your coach is not following you as he should. But if you're not meal prepping, if you're not doing the workouts, if you're just fucking bitching about stuff, and then you go to somebody else, nothing's really gonna change unless you change your mindset.
Right.
So if you need to disconnect from people, take time for yourself, it's fine. But don't blame that on other people.
Mhm.
And that's kind of thing what you did. Like you disconnect from everybody because you needed your time, you need to like focus on yourself, and then whatever comes after that,
Right.
like it's on it's
I
on
agree.
on you.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, my goals, to be honest, last year I was saying that I was trying to compete this year, and obviously that didn't happen. Also, I'm gonna become my father again in like 7 weeks, so I'm like, I can't just, go into rap and focus on myself when my wife is going through all this shit, and like, then my newborn is gonna be there. I'm not gonna just be on fucking strict diet trying to compete. Like, I'm gonna enjoy that so that goal moved probably into next year. um I haven't, I mean, still like I have some clients that want to compete, and I'm gonna focus on that, and that's for new year, like kind of like February and stuff. So I can definitely do that, but do it on my own, like just compete, I couldn't do it. So I just moved that to next year. Obviously keep going, keep growing my business. It's always nice to have new clients, and I'm actually like glad for that. People like always send me um they refer me to other people, and it's just amazing, bro. That makes me feel like I'm on the right path, and doing good as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely that I want to still try to compete, and I think that's for the next year for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You got Q&As? Because I definitely
We
do not.
do have some Q&As. I think we have
So-
like 3 questions.
I think future, we're gonna put out question and answers on the Instagrams, both our lifting accounts, and then also on the podcast account. So keep an eye out for that, or drop your questions in the bottom of the YouTube
Right.
videos, stuff like that. We'll make sure to. He checks it more than I do. I was trying to settle into I had some recent stuff come up, so I had to step away from like everything for a while, which was part of last week. There's a whole hiatus, and it was a mess. But anyways, questions.
Yeah, so question number 1 was, what's the biggest challenge when it comes to bodybuilding?
So
I don't know if it's like mental, like in general, like prep stuff, but
probably
whatever, like in your own, like your take on.
I think the biggest thing when it came, I mean, because right now I'm like out of that realm as I'm like trying to navigate some life things and I guess really put myself in the best position that I can be to start prepping for a growth stage, obviously. Um, I think the hardest part is really staying disciplined with everything you have to do. Because when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, you're eating a lot of food when you grow. And then on top of that, you have to do your cardio, you have to do your workouts, then you have to you kind of lose time to enjoy life. And then on top of that, like, I came into realization for me, I started bodybuilding, well, I have a business, like, now I have a business plus another job, and it's, which is the Navy. So, you have all these things that are going to add up. You have to learn to manage your time as best as you can and continue to grow. Like this weekend, relaxing, doing what I need to do, working on a couple videos that I've been making, and then more content for the photography, videography page that I have. But things like that. It's learning to find that balance, and that's where I am. I'm still going to the gym today later on and stuff like that. So
Right.
Finding balance, I think, is the hardest thing. A lot of people will overwhelm themselves with it and then not know what to do. And then they get lost and then they want to quit and then they give up and they wonder why. So
No, definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna give like 2 different takes on it. So if you're like just like somebody who's like lifestyling type of client lifestyle, so you're just trying to get in shape or build some muscle, whatever it's your goal. Definitely the um, biggest challenge is probably um, as we were saying, trying to manage everything at once, like your life, kids, if you have kids, your work and whatever's going on. Because it takes a toll on you, and sometimes you actually don't have time for it, or you can't make time. So sticking to the plan is definitely the biggest challenge. For prep people, I think it's kind of the same thing, but way worse. Because like you can actually have a cheat meal. You can actually like enjoy some stuff for those like 8, 12, whatever, 20 weeks. You just need to be locked in. There's not excuses. Like if you actually gonna do that 100%, like go on that stage, like you can't get any of that shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
While if you just like, you're in a diet, you're trying to get some muscle. If you have a cheat meal, a couple cheat meals, sucks. You shouldn't do it, but you can do that. So it's difficult for both people, but obviously like people that want to compete is way worse.
And I'm
Trying
not
to be
saying
locked in.
I'm not saying this to shit on coaches, but these last like 2-3 weeks, I've been off of prep meals for quite a while, and I still eat pretty damn healthy with like my foods and stuff. Obviously, my fats are probably like 40 grams higher a day, but when I flex my stomach, I still got a 6 pack. I've still grown. And this is no diss to coaches, but sometimes I think a coach needs to step back during the off season. If I'm a year, 2 years out from, stepping on stage, I think that there should be more involvement in other foods.
Oh, definitely.
And that's been
That's
a
why I
big
keep
thing.
it. You saw a couple of my stuff. I keep it like pretty like easy to
Right.
follow.
And that's
Unless
the
you're
thing is
somebody.
like if you give me like this and this has been my biggest like concern with coaches in general is like everyone's like, oh, you're in off season, you need to stay strict. Okay, great. I'll stay strict 5 days out. Like, no, that's not enough. Okay, maybe not. But at the end of the day, if I'm still eating enough, I'm still hitting my protein goal. I'm still hitting my carb goal, my fats goal, right? And I'm still staying within it, but I'm not eating exactly what you're giving me. I'm still gonna grow.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah.
So it's like
your body like recomp is different, but you're still growing.
right. But if you do the recomp and then you head into the growth stage, it shouldn't matter. A
No,
growth
what I
stage
mean
is
like
the
maybe
growth.
you're gonna get a little bit more fat, but it's still fine in that stage.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's a growth stage. The whole point is to get fluffy. You don't want to be lean with,
No,
six pack veins,
that's
everything.
that's another thing. Like it's a big challenge that people like don't understand. Is like you don't have to be perfect at all. Like don't chase perfection. So we said so many times.
Chase progress.
Like
if you're
it's
progressing,
fine.
that's all you need.
It's fine. You can fuck up one day, 2 days. It's fine. Obviously, if that becomes like an everyday shit and
That's
every day
the
you're
issue.
fucking up, no. Obviously, like you're gonna like slow down your progress or like make it worse. But still, like don't make this harder than it is because it's not.
Right.
Especially for people that are not in bed for show day.
Right. And I know people who are actually doing like more than I am. They live, breathe, and sleep bodybuilding. I know one guy. I met him at One Line. His Instagram is Beast Mode Stewie. He insane bodybuilder. Met him a long time ago. He's given me a lot of great guidance, and he agreed with me. He's like, yeah, you're right, but at the end of the day, you also have to be willing to step away from that stuff. But he told me too. He's like on weekends sometimes I'll give a client like a free meal, like have a free day. Like it's you eat whatever, but you need to meet these goals.
That one.
And so he gives them goals to meet, calories, protein, carbs, stuff like that, and that's what like makes a whole week worth of eating worth it compared to give me a shit week
It's mental. You
and then
need
I have
that.
another shit week and it's
You
fuck.
need that. Into the next question then. So we kind of spoke about it, but I think it was the first episode. So when do you both start your fitness journey and what are your end goals? Again, kind of like we spoke about it. But I started when I was like 12, 13 years old. Started going to the gym, and then I was on and off, like growing up because of work, because like my mom bossing away and stuff like that. There's been years where I don't work out for 6 months, 1 year, and or whatever, and then I like start again. But I actually started really young, like 12, 13 years old, and that was the only sport that I could like stick to it. End goals, obviously, get in shape, get in the best shape I can, and get to the stage.
Yep.
What about you?
So I mean, in high school, I did cross country and track, so I was a runner in high school. Completely different from what I do now. I'd say after high school, I wouldn't really see that much for me. I joined the Navy. I stayed fit through boot camp and then a little bit after, but COVID, so we consolidated to our rooms mostly. Went through my whole drinking phase for a while, put on like 170 pounds, and then it was probably 2 years ago now. 2 years ago now, I started in the gym. I found a picture the other day. I was like 120 some odd pounds at the time, and now I'm like 146, 153, somewhere around there. I haven't weighed myself in like a month, so. Anyways, started in the gym. Originally was to get fit, put on muscle, get stronger, get leaner, get bigger. And then I met somebody who was doing bodybuilding. And then my perspective kind of changed. Chris Bumstead kind of blew up around the same time, 2020, and started following him. And then, from there, it was just kind of history. Now, I guess end goal, put on more muscle size. For me, I think about the future a little bit. I wouldn't say plan for the future, but I think about it. At some point, I want to be the masculine father figure for my kids, whether it's my daughter or my sons. I also want to be strong and able to prove to my wife I'm protecting, no matter who she is. That's a big thing. I might be small, but the goal is to get out there and start, I don't know if I want to do jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai, but one of the two has crossed my mind quite a few times. I was talking to a friend about it the other day, actually. Hey, you want to get in these classes with me? And I was like, hey, I mean, I met people who do them, and honestly, like, I guess that's like a big thing is like knowing that you're safe. is a big one. But that I guess that those are the biggest things is just staying fit. Eventually, I would love to hop on stage for bodybuilding, but
It's not your main goal as of right now.
I think that was a good goal for a little while, and right now I think my other goals top this goal right now, only strictly because they're more beneficial to not just myself but my future family.
Right. No, 100%.
People like that. So you gotta, when it comes down to like things like this, you gotta recognize that you gotta pick. Like, are you doing this just for you, or are you doing this for other people too? Which is a big thing. A lot of people will make selfish choices and then wonder why they don't have anybody around them.
100%.
It's because it's all about them. You can be about you sometimes, and there's times when you gotta put other people's emotions and feelings and thoughts into your own. You gotta step in their shoes and be like, hey, is this gonna work for you? But yeah, so that's for me, I guess.
So into the last question for today, what's the best workout split? And I'll start under that. So best workout split is actually whatever the fuck works for you. There's nothing as like for my view, there's nothing such as like the best workout split. Best workout split would be working for like couple months, weeks, whatever, multiple times on something that you like lack. Like if your shoulders are small, or like your legs, your chest, your back, work that multiple times in a week, and do whatever works for you. That's what I usually do with men, and most of the time they work out their chest and their shoulders like twice a week at least. Sometimes it's back, sometimes it's legs. Obviously, it needs to work for them, for their work schedule, for their life. Sometimes not everyone can work out like 4 to 5 times a week. Some people can, some people can do it, and that's what's my view on that.
I don't know. Personally, I don't think there is one. I think that as long as you target, so for me, whatever like my biggest body part is gets hit once a week, and then everything else will get twice. And if there's something that is lacking enough, it'll get 3 times. That's a rarity. The only thing that I think has got hit twice would be my back and my chest. My arms are okay. Legs are what carry my physique right now, so they're kind of stuck at 1 to 2 times a week, depending.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you need to train. If you're training for bodybuilding, I think you need to train smart. So you need to train to blow your physique up and stay as even as possible. If you were to be looked at, does your body look like it's very equal all around? All your muscles are going to
all about proportions.
So that's a big thing. And then if you're just doing it for fun, just trying to stay fit, like do what keeps you healthy.
Yeah.
30 minutes to an hour in the gym, lifting weights, and then some type of cardio, 15 minutes to 30 minutes. Whatever's enjoyable. Do not ever make the gym a chore. And I just had this conversation with somebody the other day. I was talking to her, and she's like, I haven't been to the gym in a week, blah, 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 blah. And I looked at her and I said, don't make the gym a chore. Because as soon as you make it a chore, it becomes unenjoyable for you. And then you stop wanting to take care of yourself. You lose that discipline, you lose that motivation, and then 4 or 5 months come by, you're going to throw on like 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds of like body fat. You're going to be like, I don't like my body. And then you're gonna go through a constant cycle where it's boom, 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 you made it a chore, and then have fun with it.
Yeah.
Unless you're bodybuilding, don't worry about it. And that goes into a completely different topic, but learn to love yourself, because no matter what, you're going to change. But if you stay fit, you're going to love your body more than you are if you're somebody who just sits around and doesn't take care of yourself. So, yeah, that's a big thing. I guess that's the biggest thing there. But besides that, I guess that's it for the Two Motherfuckers podcast today.
That's another one.
Yeah, that's another one. What is that, number 5?
Number 5.
Yeah, number 5. So, make sure you tune in to our next podcast next Thursday. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. Don't forget to share with people. I want to see more shares. If you share it, tag us. We'll repost it. But besides that, we're out.
See you.